Are you in need of a virtual assistant? Well, at J. Logan Business Support Services, a virtual assistant company, we focus on helping you maintain and or streamline your business operations while minimizing the hassle of busy work. To request services, contact us at info@jloganbizsupport.com or visit our website at jloganbizsupport.com and allow us, your virtual assistant, to lift the weight while leaving you with peace of mind.
Hey, welcome to the Elite Life Show. I am your host, James JT Thompson, and I have a special guest in the building today. And no other than my man, world-renowned artist, Rhyme Schemes is in the building.
What's up? What's up? How you doing, man?
And I should say international, man, because you all over the world, man. I can go YouTube, I can go whatever, man, and your music is all over the place.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. I'm trying to get it out there the best way I can, man. Not getting, it's kind of hard to get known back at home where you're from. So it's like sometimes you got to make that way back around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So tell our audience a little bit about yourself, man. How did you get started?
It's funny because I didn't start doing music till after I got out of the military. So before then, I was a music lover or whatever like that. I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. Love all types of music. Always been open-minded with different genres. And then after I think I was in the military, we would rap every single day, like on our downtime when we was over in Iraq. And 16 months later, I was a rapper. It was one of those things where I just kind of just had, I kind of just sharpened my skills while I was over there, a lot of that time. And then I started making music and just started learning the game throughout the years, and led me to the place I'm at right now.
Man, so what was that like, man, the whole military thing, man, and being on the front lines and stuff, man? And again, hey, salute for being on the front lines and serving your country, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. But yeah, it's, it was a unique experience, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like seeing the unknown, dealing with the unknown. So sometimes I kind of thrive in the unknown because it's kind of like getting to, surviving through it. But it was just the unknown of things like that. So I'm kind of like, it drove me to be very structured on what I do and preparing for the unknown. So that's kind of how it is with the music thing. You got to kind of be a step ahead of it, just trying to figure out what's the next wave to get on, or try to beat the people to the wave, and then you may be the leader of the wave.
So do you remember the first time you sat down and wrote, and then when you actually got the routine down pat to what you wanted to put out there, man? Do you remember that feeling of, yeah, this is it?
You know what? What's funny is I was just putting out music. I was just kind of freestyling everything from the beginning, just letting it all out and just hoping it could be a good song, you know what I'm saying? But then now I'm kind of figuring out like how to make a song and how to make music that other people can receive. So it took a while for me just to learn, the in-depth part of music. Like, okay, I'm gonna make this song and I know people are gonna feel, but at the same time, I know it can grow and played and all that. It's a process, man. It's not just rapping. That's how I figured that out.
Let's talk about music in general, man. So what's your favorite track? What is some of your favorite tracks that you have written and put out there so far?
Man, one of my favorites is Book of Rhymes. That was more like my life story. Let me see. Book of Rhymes. 4 Letters is one. It's a track a long time ago I dropped. It was me coming out of a bad relationship, and it was kind of just went to start just freestyling, and it came out as a dope track. And of course, the one I got right now, Paradise, I love that one because how I wrote it from that perspective, how I wrote it and how the structure of the writing of it. So those are some of my better tracks that I definitely like.
No doubt, man. So we're talking about Paradise. I've had opportunity to listen to the track, and it is dope. You know what I'm saying? What mentality did you get in order to write Paradise? Because it sounded like a fun song, man. So it's like, what kind of energy did you have to put into it?
You know, because that's my life nowadays. It's kind of funny because I used to make music that like I thought was the cool music, like in the beginning, like rapping and saying all this crazy stuff like a New York rapper. And then I realized like I'm not living some of the stuff I was saying. Then I was living that, but now I'm like, you know, more of a family man. I travel internationally, so I'm more of a like calm life. So on that Paradise track, it's kind of like me just expressing a scenario that I actually experienced and what, you know, is relatable to men or women may experience it, meet somebody, and that's that feeling they get. And we had the dope Afro beat track, and they had Shady Blue on there singing her thing. So that's kind of how it is making music, how I live and what I can actually feel good when I actually done recording it.
So kind of talk about, let's get the elephant out the room. Let's talk about COVID-19. How has it changed things as far as, you know, with being around with your family and just the everyday changes and some things we might took for granted. How has it been different for you, and how have you been coping with everything with COVID-19?
You know, the part that's bothering me the most is like hearing, you know, the politics, the political side of it, where people are dying and you see the politicians up there, they all know everything, but they don't know nothing. That's been the most devastating part for me, you know, just watching other people go through it. Me, I've learned how to adapt to it. You know, I spend more time with my daughter. You know, I'm not in traffic. You know, I put in like 43 miles running last week. I'm on the road to run 45 miles this week. So it's like, this is suggesting to, you know, I can't go to the gym, so let me go out there and go run. You know, now I'm on a running regimen. You know, I'm able to like reach more people as far as musically now. Everyone's tuning into the internet. So I'm like, all right, well, let me run more ads. So I'm running ads left and right, looking at data. It's like I got a marketing, program going, looking at data. All right, they mess with me here. Let me retarget, let me put some more money, you know? So that's kind of, it's you know, it's sad, you know, from the perspective, took a tragic I guess, situation, but I'm just looking at like kind of the positive side, how I can actually benefit what I'm trying to do and take advantage of this time.
Yeah, man, it is bittersweet when you think about dealing with something that you can't see, and you just have to take precautions, man, and be very careful about your environment and how you move about it in the environment right now. Me personally, man, I think that things forever change, but they needed to change for a better. We needed to be refreshed, kind of hit the reset button, because there were a lot of toxic things going on and still are going on. But I think it was the time for us to self-evaluate and kind of get ourselves where we need to be at. So I think individually, it was the time for us to kind of get in the mindset that we need to be in. And some get it, some don't. And then when you talk about politics, it reminds me of how important it is to vote. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know nothing else, please exercise your vote. If you're out there, if you're not registered, this is just a reminder to me of how important it is to vote. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you know, definitely. I think that's something we don't take advantage of. I mean, but you understand, a lot of us grew up in certain environments where we always thought our vote didn't count. You know, like, well, I don't know. It don't matter. I'm still gonna be living in the hood, even if I do vote. So it's we gotta kind of educate ourselves on that mentality. Because you see how powerful it was when we wanted Obama in office. We made it happen. You know, regardless of what politics be, you showed the overwhelming number of people that want to vote. So it's like the power in the people, you know, as you say. But I think it is very important, you know, regardless. I mean, you don't got to like the person. I mean, try to think about the issue. You know, is a argument valid? You know, do you feel that they should represent you on their argument on different, you know, policies and stuff like that? That's kind of what people got to understand. Like, they're voting on the personality of the person, you know, and which I don't know how the current president got in there, because people don't like him at all, but he got in there and he might get in there again, you know?
It's very possible. Yeah, it's very possible. Let me lighten it up a little bit, man, and ask you about live entertainment. What is the energy, man, when you were performing on stage? How does that feel, man?
You know, That's my favorite part of the game. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I first started off, I used to be so nervous to perform. And it was like, you know, I had a little buzz going on the internet. People knew me around here in Cali, but no one ever seen me perform. So I remember when I used to go to perform. And when I first started performing, I started like opening up for like mainstream artists, like, you know, like the Loonies, DJ Quick and all of them. So I wasn't like opening up like in a local pub. So it was crazy. I would get drunk drunk real fast just so I could not be afraid. That was kind of how it was in the beginning. But then once I started doing shows and then looking at footage and getting more comfortable, it became like the best part. I love it. Like I did a show recently out here in LA before the lockdown happened, I think end of February, with Diamond Platinum. He's like one of the biggest East African artists. And it was like 7,500 people there. And let me tell you, as soon as the curtain, I was the first person to go. He had like 2 people that kind of like performed before he actually came on. And I was the first person to go out there. And that curtain opened, I had a game plan. I had my dancers. I had everything going. As soon as that curtain opened, the energy just went through the roof. Like, I couldn't even finish my set because I was jumping around. I was like Bobby Brown or something.
It's a game changer right there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I know, man, how the artists feel when they get to that big crowds.
So let me ask you this, man. Are you into sports? Yeah,
definitely.
So you know, everybody is talking about Michael Jordan, the whole thing, because of now we're seeing footage from back when they were in the last year winning championships. And so I gotta ask you, now that the footage is back out and people are reminded of what MJ was, is he still on the pedestal by himself, or is LeBron anywhere close to where Jordan was?
Man, I'm gonna do you one even better. I think the skill level of the people the athletes have evolved. Like you got bigger people, stronger people who can shoot. So the skill level has got better. Jordan, we don't take nothing away from Jordan's skill level, but he wasn't playing against people LeBron playing against,
That's true.
But before we even get to LeBron, though, we got to talk about Kobe, because Kobe had the killer instinct, man, of Michael Jordan, and he was hooping against Iverson and all these guys, like legit dudes, Kevin Garnett's, all those type of dudes. So, I mean, there's a gap between LeBron, Kobe, and Jordan. So, if I had to do a top 3, I could just shuffle the cards. Those would be the ones in there.
The latest one that I've seen has Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron is one of the latest that I've seen, and I get it because we also are reminded now of just how great Kobe was and the level that he played, and the Mamba mentality was real. Like, you just couldn't, it is. When I think about it now, we didn't even really understand what we were watching. You know what I'm saying? And now that he's not physically here anymore, you got all these reminders and all this footage, and it's like, you know what? He really was that dude. And he balled on a whole nother level. So it's a reminder. It'll always be a debate between those 3. And I think everybody else kind of falls behind that, but those 3 are definitely at the top, and we're going to forever be talking about those 3. Let me ask you another sports-related question, man. In my era, Mike Tyson was that guy. You know what I'm saying? People argue me down all the time. Tyson, he fell off, he this, he that. If you remember Mike Tyson when he fought, wasn't he one of the most intimidating guys that you ever seen coming in the ring as far as intimidating his opponents?
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Like, this dude is like 5'9". Like, he's knocking out dudes 6'5". I mean, he put down Larry Holmes twice. And people don't realize how good Larry Holmes was. Larry Holmes beat Muhammad Ali. So people got to understand that Larry Holmes was that guy. I mean, he may have caught him when he was a little older on his way out, but Tyson was ruthless, man. Them punches was, but to this day, every athlete kind of like, even Jordan, if you look at Jordan in the end, when he was the Wizards, he wasn't Jordan when he was winning, but he still was Jordan. Yeah. You understand? And then people he lost to, it was like, in his prime, these people would not have beaten Tyson. I think the only person who was ever his match was Evander Holyfield. I think Holyfield was like his complete match. So it's like they could have fought 10 times, and I think Holyfield probably won 8 out of 10, just because that was his match.
For some reason, I think Lennox Lewis was, you know what I'm saying, was just too tough for him as well. Even though I thought in the beginning, I was like, man, Tyson gonna tear into him. But that wasn't the same Tyson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
By the time he got to Lewis, it wasn't the same. So I hate that, but I only bring that up because they say there are rumors that he's coming back out at 54 to do some charity events and box, and they showed some footage. And them hands, man, still look like those hands. Like,
Yeah.
I hope they keep it simple. Maybe 3 rounds, and maybe somebody that he gonna take it easy on. Because I hope it ain't full fledged. Because Mike still look like Mike.
Yeah. And that Lennox Lewis though, man. See, that's the thing about it. Mike already went to jail. Like he had a bunch of other stuff going on. Like if you would have took it back to back then when Tyson was Tyson, like 28-year-old Tyson, Lennox Lewis would have been out in the first round.
He would have been. It'd have been a wrap. It'd have been a totally different story.
Yeah,
for sure. So, man, one other question I wanted to ask you about. I actually got this email question, and it was perfect for this show. Somebody sent me a question, and they said this: I'm gonna give you 4 rappers, and out of these 4 rappers, I want you to tell me who is the weakest lyricist. Now, they gave me their answer. They gave me Tupac, they gave me Biggie, they gave me Jay-Z, and they gave me Nas. And their answer to me was Jay-Z was the weakest lyricist out of those 4. Now I hand that question off to you.
Oh man, this is a tough one. You know, let me tell you why it's tough. Because the person I'm gonna say is the one I like the most.
Okay.
Tupac was the weakest lyricist out of all 4 of them. You talking about lyrical ability?
Yeah.
Because Tupac, his words were, it's like a preacher. It's like you go to church every Sunday, he's saying the same thing, but the congregation show up because it's how he said it. So as a rapper wise, I'm gonna pick him number 1 all day long because it's impact. But lyrically, like metaphors and double entendres, like I gotta go with the other 3.
I've been a Jay-Z fan, man, since '96. Like I was blown away when Jay came out, and then what Jay has went. I think a lot of people kind of lost the message in there. You know what I'm saying? As Jay went on another level, and Biggie and Tupac didn't get in their prime. They left here, early. And then Nas, to me, when Nas won with Ether in the rap battle, he definitely got the best of Jay on Ether. But to me, Nas was a different rapper. He wasn't, to me, as impactful. And so for me, that's why he would be number 1 in my book, because he was just so compared to those 3 in that category. You know what I'm saying? But as far as when I think about hip hop, to me, the 90s was the greatest era in hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Because you look at it, man, after the 90s and in the beginning, you really can't count it because everybody was still trying to figure it out. Where does rap belong? Getting on bigger stages. But after that, I think they took care of it in the 90s, and let me get your opinion on it. They took care of it in the 90s, and it looked like in the 2000s and in present day, they just let it go.
Yeah. I mean, the 90s is the best, man. You got everybody coming out raw, and you got real personality. It seemed like the machine, it seemed like it was the actual authentic talent out in the 90s. Because the machine wasn't behind it. They're not manufacturing artists like how they're doing today. But back then, you got dudes coming out of, Staten Island. That's how they rapped over there. You got dudes coming out of Queensbridge or dudes coming out straight out of Compton. Like these dudes, this is their life. So they were sharing their life to the world with the real authentic, how we are in our real neighborhoods. But once the corporation got involved with it to find more money, and that's why I think things changed. And I think now it's like you're seeing like results of corporations telling you how to make music, and then everyone's following that to see if they can make money.
And let us remind the audience why Rhyme Scheme's music is different and why they should buy into what you're doing.
Yeah, because I mean, the same way I said in the 90s, you know what I'm saying? Like, I give who I am. It's just, I know I'm different than the next man, and I just kind of, whether I'm rapping in Spanish, whether I rap with an artist and speaking pocket Swahili and South Africa, whatever. That's my personality. Internationally, I travel, and that's what I do. So I kind of make music, kind of show my personality, my awareness, and I mean, I come from Detroit City. I grew up with all Black people only. So for me to be able to go and like do a song with someone from Venezuela, that's something big from us coming from where we only had one. They already thought we only had one trip. So that's kind of that's kind of how I kind of show like, okay, yeah, we come from these certain areas, but this is what we're made of coming out of these areas.
So man, tell the truth, Eminem was really black one time.
I don't know about that, man. I mean,
so the 8 Mile, the whole 8 Mile thing, that is real. That is a real thing. Yeah,
the 8 Mile thing, that was real in Detroit. Like, and even it wasn't even just in at Maurice Malone or Hip Hop Shop on 7 Mile. This was like everywhere you go. Like you can drive to Detroit and dudes be battling everywhere, like ciphers everywhere. But the funny thing about it is so weird to me, and I'm not racist at all. And I'm not trying to throw a disclaimer, but it's so weird to me that a white boy is a representation of my city where there's hardly any white people in the city. That blows my mind because then I like go back. Yeah. I go back and like see all the dudes I grew up listening to. He was never in a conversation. He came out of nowhere to us. Like it was just like, oh, this white boy with Dr. Dre. We didn't even know he's from Detroit. That's the thing about it. This white boy with Dr. Dre, and we're like, oh, then he starts saying, oh, Detroit. We're like, oh, he's from Detroit. All right, well, let's claim him. But I'm talking about we had like dudes like Big Hurt, Rock Bottom Entertainment, Al Nuke, Detroit Most Wanted, Awesome Dre. We had all these Detroit rappers, man, that was like dope Detroit rappers, Slum Village, that never got that worldwide, I guess, props.
Yeah.
And then like, so it's kind of weird to me that people, when they think of Detroit, they think of like, white boy rap. Like, no, we had dudes over there that was talking our talk that's from our neighborhoods.
That's why I asked you that, man, because I knew that there was a dynamic in there that people didn't know. So I'm glad you dropped that gem in there, because a lot of people, when I mention that, or I'm on different, I'm asking the question, they're like, oh, Eminem. When I say Detroit, Eminem is the first thing that comes, and it's the only name that comes. And I'm like, wow, I know that there are other rappers there, man. So I'm glad that you, shed some light on that, because, people just think one way. And it's like, I know there were other rappers that came out of Detroit. I couldn't really think off the top of my head, man, but I'm glad you cleared that up for our audience.
Yeah, them dudes over there are vicious, man. I mean, it's like being in New York, like the Rucker Park. Any Tim dude can go to the league. You know what I'm saying? But so whatever may happen, only a few may go to the league. But that's kind of how it was. Everybody's vicious. You got to come with your best.
Yeah. Oh, that's what's up, man. Man, what a dope interview, man. Let's get your social media handles, man, and any projects that you got upcoming.
Yeah, hit me up everywhere. Reime Schemes, ReimesChemes. Also hit my website, RimeSchemesBiz.com. And right now I'm working on a couple other singles right now with a couple artists from Tanzania, Nigeria, Colombia. So I'm just got a bunch of singles in the works, and I'm just continuing pushing this Paradise, my Tifa Wine, Runaway, pushing all these tracks right now, man, just to kind of see how far I can take them.
No doubt, man. What's the latest challenge out there? I know you had something out there for people to participate in. What's the latest one?
Oh, yeah, the latest one is like I'm giving, for the Paradise song, I'm giving rappers opportunity to spit a verse. The best verse, we'll give them $100. They actually get featured on a remix, and it gets distributed through Empire. So, I mean, it's kind of, $100 not a lot of money, but in quarantine time, you can pay something and get, possibly get some points from a song that could take off. So I encourage rappers, to actually make their submissions. I got 2 submissions already, one from Tanzania and the other one's from Belize. So these kids are out here rapping, and they worldwide, they talented. So once I get more submissions from here, I'm accepting them in all languages. So, they can submit it in, and, we're gonna decide the best one and then get it popping.
All right, cool, man. Again, thank you for coming on the show, man. Go follow my man Reime Schemes on all social media handles, the website, and get on that project. I know that's the time the rappers that are watching this show. Get on that project, get your $100, and get on something that, a track that's dope within itself. Bring to the table what you can bring to it and see what happens, because you don't know unless you try. That's how I look at it. So if you got talent, jump on there and see where it takes you. But Rhyme Schemes, man, don't be a stranger to the show. We'll definitely have you on anytime that you got something coming up or coming on. Come on the show, man, and let's talk about it. Let's plug it and get it out there, man. Definitely appreciate you and look forward to talking to you soon.
All right, man. Bless up.
No doubt. Take care.
All right.
I definitely just had a dope guest. Rhyme Schemes came on and really dropped some knowledge with us and chopped it up with us. So definitely follow him on all, social media handles again. If you want to be a guest or want more info on the show, send us an email to elitelife57@gmail.com. If you want to learn more about advertising, with Elite Life, then send us an email at t.n.e.networks.llc@gmail.com and see, and learn more about what we got going on at TNE Networks. Or go to the website, tnenetworks.com. Don't want to miss it. Everything is cool. Want to leave you one thought of the day. It takes 8. You can have 8 minutes of no oxygen, but you can't go 1 second without God. Stay focused and always believe. Appreciate y'all tuning in to the Elite Life show here on TNE Networks. Peace. JT out.